Hey guys, what's up? This is RZV Movie Reviews. My name is Oliver Brigham. Now, this idea got me inspired from Sean Chandler Talks About. He does a video about his favorite movie from each year he has been alive. And since Ryan O'Toole is doing it and Jay Fader is doing it, I decided to do it too. It sounds like a pretty fun video to do. So these are my favorite movies of each year that I have been alive. Now, some of these movies on these categories could be movies that you might hate, or you might disagree with, or you might agree with. But this is my subjective picks. I was about to say list for a second, but these are my subjective picks. These are the movies that I enjoyed from each year that I have been alive. So, let's get started. So, I'm born in 2000, so basically I'm 18 now, so 18 movies. It's not even 18 the way I count my fingers, but 18 movies, yes. That is crazy, but let's get right into it. So starting from 2000, my favorite movie from 2000 is going to be Unbreakable. I love M. Night Shyamalan. He's one of the most stylish directors out there, and I think this is definitely one of my favorite superhero films nearly of all time because it is so different than any other superhero films out there. They took a pretty genius plot and made it into such a very unique and different film, and I really think Unbreakable is definitely one of the best acting movies on these lists. I really do love Bruce Willis in the movie. Samuel L. Jackson, this is probably my favorite role by him. He does a fantastic role in this movie. There's a lot of great moments, great twists, and definitely this is my favorite M. Night Shyamalan film. From 2001, I gotta go with Lord of the Rings, The Fellowship of the Ring. This is definitely my favorite Lord of the Rings out of the trilogy. I love this introduction. It introduces the whole world of Middle-earth, and this movie, even with the other two, they are my favorite movie trilogies of all time. Lord of the Rings is part of my life, and I think The Fellowship of the Ring is a great introduction to this whole big trilogy. It is a long movie, but it's worth watching. And if you haven't seen Lord of the Rings, like, seriously, dude, I remember more moments from this film. I loved a lot of moments in the film. Gandalf's death, oh my god, it was heartfelt in the film, and literally, this whole film was a fantastic introduction to the Middle-earth world and the series. I just wish they could make more movies like this. From 2002, I gotta go with Sam Raimi's Spider-Man. This movie is part of my childhood. I love the Sam Raimi trilogy, well, except for 3. I love the first 2, but I think I like Spider-Man a little bit more in 2. Here's why, because it's a great origin story. It's a movie that knows what it is. It's not trying to be dark like other superhero films out there. This is definitely a superhero film. It's light, it's fun, it's action-packed, it's just a sense of adventure. I think Tobey Maguire is the best Peter Parker and Spider-Man on screen with Tom Holland, and also Willem Dafoe as the Green Goblin. Even though his costume is a bit cheesy, I think he's a fantastic villain. There's so many memorable action scenes. Sam Raimi directed this movie so different than any other superhero films out there, and I think Sam Raimi is a great pick to direct this trilogy, and I think the first Spider-Man is a childhood movie. I used to love a lot of scenes as a kid, and Spider-Man is one of my favorite superheroes of all time. So, Spider-Man, you're on my 2002 pick. Now, let's go back to Middle-earth for 2003. Lord of the Rings, The Return of the King. This is definitely my favorite conclusion that I've ever seen out of the whole entire trilogies. This movie was absolutely spectacular. It is long, more longer than the first 2 movies, and my god, it's one of those movies that when it's long, you just don't want it to stop. This is a movie that has some of the best scenes ever in a film. The final scene where Frodo has to drop the ring on Sauron, oh my god, it's one of my favorite scenes of the entire movie with Gollum's fall. Yeah, one of the best villain death scenes that I've ever seen in the entire freaking movie. This is a great conclusion to this trilogy. I like The Two Towers, but I didn't like it as much as these first 2 movies on these year picks. But I would say this is definitely one of my favorites out of the series. I think the first one, the second one, the third one is my favorite out of the series. The Return of the King, definitely my favorite movie for 2003. For 2004, it's a very hard pick because I got Spider-Man 2, but now that I think about it, this is the movie that I enjoyed more. Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban. This is definitely my favorite Harry Potter movie in the entire freaking series. I think this is Daniel Radcliffe's best performance. Not just as Harry Potter, but probably just the best role he's ever gotten. I think this movie has more memorable scenes than the other Harry Potter films. This is the more fun Harry Potter films. And this is kind of like more of a sense of adventure than the other Harry Potter films. Most of the Harry Potter films were magical and fantastic. This film is epic. This is more magical. There's so many spells that I remember. Gary Oldman as Sirius Black was fantastic in this film. The Dementors always scare me. Even the Quidditch scene, holy shit. As a kid, I was freaking the hell out. I rewatched all the Harry Potter movies leading up to Fantastic Beasts and Crimes of Grindelwald, and I never enjoyed a Harry Potter movie so much than The Prison of Azkaban. I could watch Prison of Azkaban for the rest of my life. If I, stuck in an island and I had to pick one Harry Potter film, definitely this one. This is a great freaking film. From 2005, I gotta go with probably my favorite origin story that I've ever seen on screen, Batman Begins. A lot of people don't appreciate this one more than the other Dark Knight trilogy. This movie was great. I think it's definitely my favorite Batman origin story that I've seen on screen. Christopher Nolan rebooted his franchise after the shit-ass Batman and Robin. I think Christopher Nolan knows how to handle Batman. He knows how to handle Bruce Wayne. Christian Bale did a great job in the film. Liam Neeson as Ra's al Ghul, very underrated performance by him. He was fantastic in that film. A lot of great moments in the film. Fantastic origin story. I like that I take it very slow to become the Batman because you follow Bruce Wayne the whole freaking time. The freaking training scene with Ra's al Ghul is definitely one of my favorite scenes in any training montage ever. Christopher Nolan knows how to do a superhero film. He can do superhero films very well, and Batman Begins is a great example for that. For 2006, I gotta go with The Departed. I think it's one of my favorite Martin Scorsese films, of all freaking time. I think this film has such a big cast. Leonardo DiCaprio, Jack Nicholson, Matt Damon, Mark Wahlberg. Matt Damon and Mark Wahlberg in the movie together. Two identical actors. It's really freaking great. This is definitely one of the best heist movies I've ever seen. This movie has so many great twists, great turns, really shocking moments. I would watch this movie again. If there's a new Martin Scorsese movie coming out, which I heard that stars Joe Pesci, I'll probably review all the Martin Scorsese films, but with Goodfellas, I think this is my favorite Martin Scorsese film. I think it's better than Goodfellas, and it's a movie that is just fantastic as it is. For 2007, now this is a very mixed one, because this is a movie that's part of my childhood. I love this movie from 2007, so I'm going to put this on there. Transformers. I know a lot of people are like, what? Why? Remember, this is my subjective picks. Transformers is a movie that is just my life as a kid. As a prep student, a lot of kids are talking about Transformers. I play with Transformers with the other kids, and that's when I discovered this movie, and I thought it's one of the coolest movies ever. And I just had to put this movie on there because it's my childhood movie. And, childhood movies, you can't get away with them. Transformers as a film is a fun action popcorn movie. It's not a great movie by any means, but it's a movie that's kind of like Independence Day. It's a fun movie. It knows what it is. Robots fighting each other with explosions, Michael Bay isn't. I'm just thinking, why aren't the other Transformers movies like that? They always have shit plots. This movie's plot is fine for a Transformers film. Yeah, the characters in the movie aren't the greatest, but when you just see robots fighting on screen, and the desert scene with a scorpion and the freaking opening, you just can't get away with it. I think this is my favorite Transformers movie out of the series, and I'm a big Transformers fan, so that's saying something. For 2008, literally, if you don't put this movie on your 2008 movies that you love when you're alive, I don't think you're alive. The Dark Knight, definitely one of the best comic book movies of all freaking time. And definitely one of the best performances that I've seen from a Christopher Nolan movie, and also any movie ever. Heath Ledger as the Joker. One of the best performances, not just a great villain performance, the best performance in a movie ever. I could watch The Dark Knight every single day. It's one of my favorite movies of all time. This is a movie that shocked everyone. They didn't expect this movie to be that great. It is a movie that I will keep watching and watching, and I'll love it every single time. I will never ever say this one hold up. It holds up still till this day. I think Christopher Nolan's a great pick directing the Dark Knight trilogy because he made Batman badass in the film. He made him such a great character, not just a great superhero, a great character. A lot of fantastic moments in this film. Definitely my favorite scene in the entire movie is the interrogation scene. Holy shit, one of my favorite scenes in a movie, even a comic book film ever. And that's when Heath Ledger does probably one of his best performances ever. That's why The Dark Knight deserves to be in my 2018 pick. Why so serious? For 2009, now this is a very controversial pick because 2009 was an okay year for movies, but if I could pick my favorite, I could say Avatar. I think this movie, a lot of people say it's very overrated, and I completely disagree. This is one of those movies that you don't care for the story or anything, but the visual effects in the movie kind of keeps you away from it, and it's the best visual experience. I used to love this movie when I was 9 years old. I thought this was one of the coolest movies ever with Transformers. I think this is a fantastic movie, still holds up till this day. The visual effects are absolutely beautiful. The way this movie looks is fantastic. A lot of great characters in the film. like literally Neytiri, I think I said her name right, played by Zoe Zodela, I can't say her name. She is one badass chick, and this whole movie, I like badass chicks. This whole movie was a lot of fun. The action scenes were fantastic. The final act is definitely one of my favorites in the entire movie. And honestly, 2009 wasn't a great year, but I think Avatar broke that year. It was a fantastic movie. It is such a fantastic visual experience, and I do recommend you to see Avatar, and I'm pretty interested in the sequels, honestly. For 2010, this is a very hard one as well, because there's so many movies that came out in 2010. I'm picking either between Toy Story 3 or Inception, but for now, I'm going to put Inception. Another Christopher Nolan film. Yeah, Christopher Nolan is one of my favorite directors, and I think Inception is one of the most different films by him. This is such a great plot. Leonardo DiCaprio, Tom Hardy, Ellen Page, Joseph Gordon-Levitt, everyone did a really fantastic job in the film. This is a very original film, and I like originality. It's one of the best things ever in films, and they don't do that much often. They always do cliches and all that stuff. Christopher Nolan knows how to do originality, and Inception is one of the best visual films that I have seen from his films. Literally, the freaking hotel fight scene, one of the best scenes in a Christopher Nolan film with the interrogation scene from The Dark Knight. It is just phenomenal. For 2011, I gotta go with Rise of the Planet of the Apes. Big surprise for 2011, and definitely it's a movie that I will watch more times than the other two. Here is why. War for the Planet of the Apes is definitely my favorite out of the trilogy, but I think Rise of the Planet of the Apes is kind of like the Fellowship of the Ring. It's the best introduction to this whole new world. This movie doesn't even feel like it holds with the other Planet of the Apes films. It feels like a whole new film. This is definitely, to me, the best Andy Serkis performance ever as Caesar. One of the best. Oh my god, motion capture still holds up till this day. Oh my god, this movie has so many great scenes when Caesar talks. Holy shit, I was in the theater watching this film and I was blown my mind. I was 11 years old. So that is saying something for this film. Fantastic final act, and this is a great introduction to the new reboot trilogy. For 2012, same as 2010. Very hard. I was about to pick either Avengers or The Dark Knight Rises, but you know what? Since I did Batman Begins and The Dark Knight this video, I think I should complete it, and I think this movie was great. The Dark Knight Rises. I think this movie was a great conclusion to the trilogy. A lot of people are very mixed about The Dark Knight Rises. Some people didn't like it, some people thought it's okay. I thought this movie was great. Tom Hardy as Bane is definitely one of another great villain performances on screen. Not as great as Heath Ledger, but my god, he still does a fantastic performance as this character. The under-freaking ground fight between Batman and Bane is one of the most brutal scenes I've ever seen in a comic book movie. I watched this movie in IMAX, and this is the best theater experience that I've ever had, ever. I would remember The Dark Knight Rises a lot, and I'm so glad that I put a big trilogy on this list of the favorite movies that I like when I'm alive, because The Dark Knight trilogy is one of my favorite trilogies of all time, and this is a great conclusion to this epic trilogy. For 2013, I gotta go with Prisoners, with Hugh Jackman, Jake Gyllenhaal. Yes, either this or Wolf of Wall Street. I think this movie stole that year, because this is one of the most intense films that I've ever seen in 2013. I literally watched this film when I was 13, and I just like every single moment of it. Yeah, I'm 13. This movie's MA15. Yeah, I went with my dad, don't worry, I didn't went by myself, but this movie is one of the most intense movies ever, and to me, this is the best Hugh Jackman performance with another movie that I'm going to put on this list. Holy shit, this film was fantastic. Even Jake Gyllenhaal was great. This film is very intense. You don't know what's going to happen, and it took a very simple plot and made it into a really damn brutal, intense movie, and I like that. For 2014, I gotta go with Whiplash. Are you rushing, or were you dragging? J.K. Simmons, this is probably his best performance, and also Miles Teller. This movie is another great, intense movie. This is the movie that I did not expect to be great, and when I watched the trailers, I'm like, it's okay. That's when I started liking movies and hating movies, when I was 14. I started doing little movie reviews when I was 14, not putting on YouTube or anything. Whiplash, I couldn't stop talking about it. It's one of those movies that you love so much. The drum solo scene at the end was one of the most intense but also fantastic scene in the entire movie. J.K. Simmons, once again, plays a great dick in the movie. He's fantastic in the movie. I can remember so many lines from his character because he does really great quotes of being an asshole in the movie. Whiplash, definitely worth it. For 2015, yeah, we're going back to 2015 when I started doing movie reviews, Star Wars The Force Awakens. This is a very hard pick. Probably the hardest pick out of all because I love Mad Max Fury Road so much. But I think we've been waiting for another Star Wars movie for a while. I think Star Wars The Force Awakens should be on there. A lot of people like this is like New Hope all over again, and I don't think so. To me, this is a whole new story with great characters, great villain, and this brings Star Wars back. Like, literally, Star Wars is coming back to the big screen, and my god, I was literally excited from the trailers, and this movie is freaking great, and there's nothing to say about it. Great introduction to the new sequel trilogy. I'm pretty excited for the first Star Wars movie in this trilogy. For 2016, I gotta go with Deadpool. Definitely one of the most different comic book movies, and it's a comic book movie we've all been waiting for since X-Men Origins Wolverine came out. Ryan Reynolds wanted to do a Deadpool movie, and we finally got it, and it's freaking great. The joke still holds up till this day. This is definitely one of the most different superhero films ever, because it had more jokes, it had 4/4 breaking. Deadpool is a fun character, and Ryan Reynolds is Deadpool. Fantastic in the film, and it's also a great romance film and a fantastic revenge film. And they matched these two genres all together into one fun-ass film. Deadpool 2 was really good, but I would prefer the first one a bit more than that movie. For 2017, I put a Blade Runner 2049 on that list of the top 10 best, but now that I think about it, I changed my number one. Logan, another great Hugh Jackman performance, and this is his final performance as Wolverine, one of his most iconic roles, and holy shit, this movie was definitely one of my favorite X-Men films out of the series. This movie was freaking great, and what I like about this movie is that it's not a superhero film, it's a drama with a bit of action superhero-y thing in it. Hugh Jackman once again did a great performance, and a great final performance as this iconic character. X-23, my god, what a badass in this film. Diane Keane, I hope I said her name right. You are awesome. Patrick Stewart, one of his best performances as well. He did a really great job. The action scenes, holy shit, they were brutal. And that's why I won for a Wolverine film. The forest fight is one of the most heartfelt scenes, but also one of the most badass scenes in any time in Lily. Wolverine vs. X-24 was one of the best superhero fight scenes that I have seen, and it's so intense, and it's a brutal ass scene. This whole movie was brutal, and I like that, and it makes me think that Wolverine is one of the most badass superheroes ever on screen. And last but not least, guys, 2018. Last year, we are gonna go with, of course, Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. Definitely my favorite Spider-Man film out of this entire series of Spider-Man films. Yes, better than Spider-Man 2, better than the first Spider-Man, better than Spider-Man Homecoming. This is the Spider-Man film that I wanted to see. And holy shit, it is fantastic. It's definitely like The Dark Knight with Spider-Man. It is a fantastic movie with fantastic characters. The animation looks so different, and I like that. It looks like a comic book. The characters were fantastic. Miles Morales and the Spider-Verse people, they all get a chance to shine in the movie. The action is fantastic. The whole aspect of the film is so fantastic, and the story and the dialogue of the film made me enjoy this movie more. I watched it 3 times at the theater, and literally, I couldn't stop watching it because it's that freaking good. So guys, that is it. These are the movies that I liked when I am alive. I'm going to tag somebody to do this because it is a lot of fun to do. I'm going to tag MC Talking Films to do this video. I'm sweating actually. It's really hot in this room, and I talk about so many movies. But we are done right now. So guys, let me know in the comments below. What are your favorite movies when you have been alive? Let me know in the comments below. Make sure you guys follow me on Stardust, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Keep contacting me, and maybe my next video I can do the worst movies that I've been alive. I think that could be a pretty interesting video as well. So, have a nice day.